This is June 2025, paper 52. And you people, this is a discussion paper. So you people are invited to discuss on the mic. Chat is fine, but normally it will take time for me, but you can use chat also. We will first overview the basic theme of paper 5, question 1. Think, plan, and organize a practical. The total marks are 15. This is the question 1. The marks are divided after 2022. The marks allocation is flexible by the examiner, but general way defining the problem, I mean what are the variable, is 2 marks. Methods of data collection, 4 marks. And methods of analysis, the linear law working, is 3 marks. Additional detail including safety consideration is 6 marks. Okay, as I said, this is a discussion paper and this is not a theory paper, so you have to take part in it. And in the exam, remember that there is not one fixed answer, one sequence of answers. This is June 25 52. I'm starting the question. I have posted the paper also. You can open the paper in the second window or you can look at the screen. A thin solid disc of radius r and thickness z is attached to a thin axle. String is wrapped around the axle as shown. Look at the diagram. This is a thin disc. This is a disc which is mounted on an axle. It is very similar like a wheel which is mounted on an axle. One side they are hanging a load, a brick, a block on the left side. This is figure 1.1. Remember that you have to read the question carefully. You have to read the question carefully. If you misinterpret the question, the marks are gone. This is a major problem with this question 1. It is whatever you are loading from the start. So it is not a memory question. A block of mass m is attached to the string. A block of mass m is attached to the string. The block is released from rest and falls downward. The block has a speed v when it has fallen through a distance h. From the point of release, the value of v is determined using one light gate, which the examiner has highlighted, one light gate connected to a timer. Actually, one light gate is sometimes more challenging because two light gates work like first light gate start the timer, second light gate stop the timer. So here you have to use one light gate. I hope the story is clear. It's a simple question, but normally what paper 5 gives a challenge that you have to narrate everything in practical sense. A block of mass m is attached to the string. I'm repeating it. So what he is going to do, he is going to release the block. The block is actually hanging with a thread and the radius of the disc is r, the thickness is z. Now this is the plan. Everyone should read the question once till here, so you remember all the main parameters. Now, it is suggested that V is related to M by the relation H upon V square is equal to pi R square Z upon 2PQM plus 1 upon P, where P and Q are constants. Now, the two lines, very important. Plan a laboratory experiment to test the relation between V and M. If you people have this paper printed, so you should underline these two lines because they control, because they actually control the whole paper, because these are the two variables. Now, it is suggested that V is related to M. V is the velocity when it reaches a certain height down, and M is the mass of the block. P and Q are constant. Now plan a laboratory experiment to test the relation between V and M. Now this is a formal sheet. This happens in every question. Draw a diagram showing the arrangement of your equipment. Explain how the results could be used to determine values for P and Q. In your plan, you should include the procedure to be followed, the measurements to be taken, the control of variables, the analysis of the data, any safety precautions to be taken. Now, everyone should understand that we have a disc which is mounted with a string. When we release the block, it will go down and the axle will rotate. This will rotate the disc also. The load will go to a certain height down, and then we need to find the velocity the velocity of the block after that height. So actually we are keeping the same height every time. This is the formula. Now I have to put my first question. If you have this paper printed, so you should go in the lined area, leave the area for the diagram which is blank. Otherwise, you can put it on a sheet of paper. Now, variables, defining the problem, 2 marks. So now I will wait here. Then you people tell me what variables should I take. You people have to give me input. What variables should I take? I mean, which should be independent, which should be dependent. V and M. You are saying, Ahmed is saying velocity is dependent. Good answer. And mass is independent. One answer. Ahmed is saying velocity is dependent and mass is independent. So what he means that we will change mass. Achha, what is independent variable? In rough way, whatever you can change easily, whatever you change is the independent variable, and whatever changes due to that is the dependent variable. So M is the independent variable and V is the dependent variable. We should keep the height constant. So please copy this. Ahmed, Z, if you see the question, I had posted the question. Z is actually the thickness of the disk. Z is the thickness of the disk. So everyone, please copy this. This is the start of the question. Now let's move forward. The second part of the next title is procedure. This is called method of data collection. I have shared a PDF which is containing very good worked out paper 5 questions, someone's work, but amazing work, very good work. Now here examiner want a well labeled workable apparatus diagram. They emphasize workable. Now my thinking process will begin. I will go back and I will see that what the letters are actually showing. If I come back here, look at the letter H. The block has a speed v when it is fallen through a distance h. The value of v is determined using one light gate. The block is released from rest. The block has a speed v. So now remember these letters. I will start my thinking process from here. Look at the thinking process. How we develop thinking process in paper 5. We develop thinking process from this diagram. Okay, now you have to give me the support here. The letter H. This is the letter H. This is the distance fallen. What is V? V is the velocity of the block at H distance. Now, what is P? Look at this letter P. P is a constant. What is M? M is also a constant. What is Z? Z is actually thickness of disk. What is R? Is the radius. Now, what I am doing here, I'm actually doing the marking of the diagram. So remember this concept that you have to mark this diagram. Why you need to mark it? Actually, this marking will lead you for the coming question. I mean, this is the diagram. This is the data you have to fulfill. You have to think on this equation that what instruments you are going to take. So this is the leading diagram. Now, everyone should copy this and update me once you copy this screen. This you should copy it in the rough area. Do not copy in the main line. I mean, in the exam, you're not supposed to show this. Here comes my procedure. I will put the block on a weighing machine, which is called a top end balance. I will put it on the top end balance. I'm going to use a top end balance to measure the mass of the block. Look at this. To measure Z. Z is the thickness of the disc. Z is the thickness of the disc. So I will measure Z by putting a vernier caliper. This is my plan. Now look at this. how I'm going to measure how I'm going to measure the radius. I will find the total diameter. I will find the total diameter and then I will use it. I will find the total diameter of the disk and then I'm going to use it to find the radius. Look at this screen. What is my plan? I will find the diameter of the disk and I will half it. I will take 3 4 readings and I will take an average. So this is my plan. This is my plan to find the radius of the sheet. This is my plan to find the radius of the sheet. ठीक है. Okay. So now let's move on. D is the total diameter. Half of D is radius. Now comes the light gate. This is the light gate and I'm using one light gate. Light gates are designed to sense. Light gates are designed to Light gates are designed to sense the motion. They are like motion sensor, you can say. They have an infrared detector, and when something passes through them, they pick the signal. So we are going to use it to measure the time. What is the plan? We will use the approach because this is a single light gate. When the block will go through the light gate, when the block will go through the light gate, the block length, the length of the block will be taken as the distance and the time recorded by the timer. So I will take the length of the block like a meter rule I can use. I will take the length of the block and I will measure it and I will use the formula length of block upon time recorded by the timer. This would be the plan to find the velocity because I have a single light gate. So I can use the length of the block, length of the block as what? Length of the block as the distance. Now we have completed our thinking process. Now we move to the diagram. If you have a printed paper or the paper is in the book, you can mark it on the diagram. This is the approach here. This is the approach here. The block is attached on a stand. I have a meter rule. I have a meter rule. I have put a sandbag under the block. I have put two support for holding the axle. I am using examiner diagram. I can do that, but I have to draw it again. So I have an axle. I'm holding the block. So I will release the block. I'm holding the meter rule and this is on a bench. Now you have to see this one. Diagram must be labeled. You people have to copy the diagram. You can always send me the diagram for cross checking. It's very important. You can now start copying the diagram. In the diagram area, copy the diagram. You people should copy the diagram. No matter, you can take a picture. I will post it also, inshallah. But remember that you should draw it by your hand. The main problem is this diagram drawing, because people do not draw much and they always go for digital work. But in the exam, you have to draw this. So now you, once you people have draw it, you can tell me.
Done, sir.
Good. Now look at the process. You people have understood it. It's not a difficult question. And remember that when question is not difficult in Cambridge, then you are in a big trouble. Then why? Because then competition will be high. It's a competitive system. So now give us side heading process. Arrange the apparatus as shown. Arrange the apparatus as shown. Arrange the apparatus as shown. Use a top pen balance. Use a top pen balance to find the mass of the block. Use vernier caliper to find the thickness Z. Use vernier caliper to find the thickness Z. Take 4 to 5 readings. Take 4 to 5 readings along the disc and then take an average. Measure the diameter of the disc by a meter rule. Half the diameter. Half the diameter to find the radius. Measure the dia from different positions. Measure the dia from different positions and take an average. Hold the block by a stand as shown. Hold the block by a stand as shown. Release the block. Release the block as it falls down. As it falls down, the light gate will record the time. Use the formula V is equal to length of block. Use the formula V is equal to length of block upon time recorded by the timer. Repeat the trial 3 times and take an average. Take a new block with a different mass. Take a new block with a different mass. Repeat the procedure. Repeat the procedure in this way for number of times. Record all the values in a table. So we are done with the procedure. Now give the title control of variable. It's a formal heading because the bullets were asking for it. Otherwise, we already have mentioned it. Vary M and measure V. Copy this now. Copy this. Now give the heading method of analysis. or simply heading analysis. Do not write this method of analysis 3 marks. This is for our own use. Analysis involve, what analysis involve? Analysis involve actually the linear law. Now partition the space, which is important. Partition the space, 4 lines maximum, make them 8 lines by partition. Linear law, y is equal to mx plus c. Decide or recall who will come on x-axis, who will come on y-axis. Independent variable always come on x-axis. Dependent variable comes on y-axis. Now copy down this. Now let's start the working. Remember that mass is the x-axis, v is the y-axis. So I will rearrange the formula. I will deliberately take out h and move it to the right side. Look at the working. Copy this. Remember to partition the space. Look at the idea. I have separated it. I have taken the v square. I have taken the v square on v square. I'm trying to make it as a subject. The h I have shifted to the right side. In the denominator, look at the look at the screen. Now, I will compare with y is equal to mx plus c. I will compare it with y is equal to mx plus c. Y is 1 upon v square. X is equal to 1 upon m. So m is the gradient. I have highlighted the working comparison. Diagram should be made by pencil. All other stuff should be with pen. And remember the partition. So you can save the space. You can share whole of your working with me after the class, so we can cross check it. Now you have to copy this. Gradient is equal to pi r square z upon 2pqh. Now plot a graph of 1 upon v square against 1 upon m. Relationship is valid if graph is a straight line not passing through the origin. So now you have to copy this. This is a very important sentence. Relationship is valid if graph is a straight line not passing through origin. How we know it is not passing through origin? Because C is not equal to 0. Now P is equal to 1 upon H into Y intercept. He told us to find the P and Q. I mean, we are supposed to find a method to determine P and Q. Now look at this, copy this. Q is equal to pi r square z upon 2ph into gradient. Copy this also. Update me once you have copied it. Copy the Q also.
Written.
Good. Now look at the idea precaution. Precaution is something. Precaution is something where you deliberately, which you were holding the concepts. You have seen that I didn't mention the bag and the other thing because it is ideal for me to write down the precautions. Precautions are accuracy and safety. You can go for 3 plus 3. Whenever you're looking for precaution, always go for the diagram and look for the precaution from here. It's a block. So a sandbag there, because if the string breaks or the block goes up, eventually will reach the ground. So we should put it on a bench, on a bag is there to catch the block. So I'm first going for accuracy. You should give the heading precautions. You can use bullets here. Number one, the first point, use a sandbag to catch the block. Use a sandbag to catch the block. Next bullet, safety. Any safety precaution we can mention here. And remember the word safety. Remember the word safety is different. The word safety is different in its intensity between us and they. Normally, people do not consider some things. All of the things we consider as precaution may be not for them. Normally, they believe that everything which can create a trouble, like a moving disc, can fall. So you have to secure the whole apparatus. If it fall, it can create a big problem. It's a heavy disc. So you should use a safety shield, and people should be away from this apparatus, not in front of it. They should be on the side. So now, second bullet. Second bullet, write in it that use a safety shield as the disc can topple. Use a safety shield third precaution for the safety, wear eye goggles. Wear eye goggles as the string can snap. As the string can snap. As the string can snap. Now, I have given three as safety. Then let's try for accuracy. Like the first bullet, use set square to check the vertical status as shown. Use set square. Next bullet is there. Use set square to check the vertical status as shown. Next bullet, use H as large as possible. Use H as large as possible. Use the same disk every time. Use the same disk every time. This is another accuracy precaution. Now we have covered the precautions. By rule, precautions also cover additional details. Do not give any separate heading for additional details. So this is the marking scheme reference, set square, correctly position, method to keep age constant by identifying the constant, description of method to ensure the axle. This I have taken from marking scheme. So for the double check, you can also look at the marking scheme. Use a large length of block to reduce the percentage and repeat experiment for the same value of M and determine the average V. Repetition already we have mentioned. So this is basically these are the points mentioned by the examiner in the marking scheme. So we are done for today. This question is complete. And if you people have noted everything, it's done for today. And we will inshallah continue in our next class. Allah Hafiz.
No.